Hello again, everyone. Zack Attack is here with my WWE Cruiserweight Classic Finale review for this Wednesday, September 14th of 2016, culminating from Full Sail in Orlando, Florida, live 2-hour finale. Well, it's been a very exciting week for WWE and its fans. Not only did we have a very interesting and exciting Backlash pay-per-view, which despite lack of big stars, especially one that was taken out just hours before, ended up being a decent pay-per-view. For SmackDown only pay-per-view, ended up being good. Decent Raw Monday, fun SmackDown yesterday, and now the finale of CWC. After 2 months, 10 weeks of exciting action, the finals lived up to the hype that this tournament is built upon. We saw 2 excellent semifinal matches, including one semifinal match that was just epic, plus a bonus match which was great as well. And the finals, which revealed what we've been wanting to know. What was going to happen involving the Cruiserweight Championship. It's back. We knew at some point they're going to bring back the Cruiserweight Championship because of the Cruiserweights going to Monday Night Raw starting this week. The winner of the tournament would not only get the CWC trophy, it would be crowned the new Cruiserweight Champion, and the championship looks amazing. Better than the other new belts. This got an original design, not like a copycat like all the other championships they've been doing. Like basically copying the other ones, just painting it a different color. This is a totally original belt that is worthy of a winner in this totally original tournament. I've watched every episode, and I've never been disappointed by this. I've been upon this tournament. I'm glad they're bringing back the Cruiserweight division full time. You know, I loved the Cruiserweights back then, a couple years ago, and I'm happy they're bringing them back. Some amazing guys in this tournament. I have not been disappointed at all. So, let's get down to it. I am not doing ratings for this. I'm just reviewing the event as is, kind of like reviewing a wall. Because we only had 4 matches, so it's like not giving them scores or anything. Just doing like I do for a wall review, just reviewing these matches. So let's kick off with the first of the 2 semifinal matches. We had Grand Metalik taking on Zack Sabre Jr. A clash of styles. Now I've been impressed by both these guys. Zack Sabre Jr. is one of my favorites, not just because he has the same name as me. Different spelling. I'm Z-A-K, he has C-A-C-K, so it's close. But I love this ingenuity and his very superior technical style. And I love the way he's been winning matches. You know, so I was really looking forward to seeing him in his semi-final against Metalik, who I've been impressed with his Lucha Libre style. Hopefully, if he'll probably be one of the cruiserweights to go to Raw. And if he does, hope he gets used better than Kalisto and Sin Cara have recently. Hope they push him as a star, and he looked amazing in this semi-final match. His high-flying style, flying across the ropes and all that stuff, is trying to counter the technical ability of Zack Sabre Jr. is going for submissions a lot in this matchup. But Metalik answered too. He had his own submissions that he put Zack Sabre into. Nasty chops, nasty spots for both these guys. It was a slow stuff, but once it got going, it got really going. Back and forth action, great striking, great sling blades, great Frankensteiners up the top. It was just an amazing semi-final matchup. But as Sabre was trying to go for some more submissions, going for an octopus at one point. The flying style, the Lucha Libre style, and you heard the crowd going like, one point you heard him say, Lucha Libre technical. The crowd was really good all night. Being a Full Sail crowd. Following on from a tap from Zack Sabre Jr., Metalik would come up with a big counter. It would set up Zack Sabre for the Metalik driver. And the 1, 2, 3, Metalik wins, beating one of the favorites, Zack Sabre Jr. in an impressive upset victory by Grandmaster Lee, who was given a medal, a finalist medal, by William Regal. So Menelik advances to the final. I was stunned because I think a lot of people like me were thinking Zack Sabre Jr. would go on to the final. And it would take on Kota Ibushi. That was my intended final. Was Zack Sabre Jr., Kota Ibushi. If one half of that dream final was not going to make it, maybe the other half was going to make it. And the best semi-final match of the night, and probably match of the night next to the tag team match, minus the botch, Kota Ibushi against Manic, a.k.a. TJ Perkins. That's how I knew TJ Perkins from TNA when he was Manic, and I'm glad he's been looking good in this tournament. And you get to see his face more, man, because when he was Manic, he wore the mask, you know, because he was Suicide at first. You know, they had him as Suicide, then they changed his name to Manic, and he was part of James Storm's Revolution gimmick. And he's been used a lot with jabbing. You know, some people don't like his flashy style, but I like this style. Especially getting upsets against two NXT fan favorites, beating Johnny Gargano and Rich Swann, both in knee bars. And he had a chance to pull out the biggest upset of the entire tournament if he were to beat Kota Ibushi. And this match was the, like I said, match of the night, best semi-final match. There's been so many epic matches on this entire tournament. Whether it's Gargano and Ciampa's first round match. And mostly all of Ibushi's matches have been up in that top 5 matches. Whether it was his first round match against Sean Maluda, his terrific epic match against Cedric Alexander, and his recent quarterfinal match against Brian Kendrick. So we knew that this match was going to be no exception when it comes to epicness. This was just a freaking war. Knowing one of these guys would have to fight in the final. They didn't care. Just beat the snot out of each other. Nasty strikes. Terrific moves. Ibushi. These guys were just going all over the crowd was so into it. The crowd was hot. Ibushi was trying for a moonsault twice. The first attempt, he got tripped up by Perkins. But they went for the moonsault again. And there's just so many epic moments. I can't recall them all. It's just like great exchanges, great sequences. Both guys had the finisher, especially Ibushi. Did do the powerbomb, but Perkins kicked out. I was like, oh my god. I was like on the edge of my seat. But everybody watching the CWC, whether it was at Full Sail or at home, were off their edge of the seat. I was like, this has been an excellent movie with some great action. I can't believe I had enough energy to get through this show. You know, especially on the energy I used on Backlash. And at the end of this match, I was like, holy crap, can I make it to the finals? Like everybody else has to catch their back. It was just an amazing, epic match between two terrific athletes. Giving their all with big kicks and strikes, especially the kicking and the striking of Ibushi was just on par like hell. But then following after the kick out from Perkins from Ibushi's powerbomb, he replaced Perkins with a big wheelbarrow driver for a 2 count. And Perkins would do a pinfall 2 with a 2 count and turn it into the knee bomb. He tried many times for the knee bomb, and he got him the knee bomb and turned it into a crossface at one point. And with Ibushi stuck in the middle, the crossface, with knee ball combination, Ibushi had no choice but to tap out. Upset of the tournament with TJ Perkins beating the favorite Kota Ibushi in the semis in an amazing matchup. WWE's Grandmaster League and TJ Perkins would compete in the finals. Talk about breaking brackets for you. Because I thought Zack Sabre and Ibushi would be the final. I think a lot of people expected Ibushi and Zack Sabre Jr. to be in the final. And it's sad we didn't get to see him wrestle at all in this tournament. That match would be epic. I hope they do get a chance to wrestle each other. And hopefully they get signed. That might be one reason why we did not see these two in the finals. There's a lot of guys from the CWC that did get and did sign full-time WWE contracts that are going to Monday Night Raw for the Cruiserweight division. You know, when they go to Raw Monday. You have Jack Gallagher. I love him. I love his character. Love his style. Can't wait to see him there. Brian Kendrick, I think, signed Cedric Alexander, especially after his amazing showing against Kota Ibushi in the second round, I think. Yeah, second round. And with the fans chanting, please sign Cedric. So happy to see a former Ring of Honor star get signed. After an amazing showing, and Triple H came out. That's an amazing emotional moment. So many amazing emotional moments in this tournament with Brian Kendrick and Daniel Bryan. I did not know the extent of their friendship. I just read Daniel Bryan's book. Yes, it's kind of interesting. I read that book just as the CWC was going on, so it got me really connected and realized why there was a personal connection between Daniel Bryan and Brian Kendrick. And by that moment, they hugged at the end of Bryan's match against Kota Ibushi in the quarterfinal. Meant so much to them because they trained together. It was an amazing moment. And this was an amazing moment. But a lot of guys signed full-time contracts, but not Zack Sabre and Kota Ibushi, according to several sources. They have not agreed on a contract yet for WWE. That's probably one reason why we did not see these two go on to the finals. But Dalik and TJ Perkins are signed. They do have contracts with WWE full-time. So that might be one reason why we did not see a dream final being Zack Sabre Jr. and Ibushi. I hope they do sign a contract and they do wrestle each other at one point in the WWE. I do hope for that. I think a lot of people hope for that. That they do negotiate deals with these two guys. Because we want to see that match happen. That's a match that a lot of people wanted to see. Not just in the final, but in this tournament in general. Yeah, the technical style of Sabre Jr. and Ibushi. That was like a dream match for many. But the final we are going to get, that we did get, was still going to be good. But how tired these guys are going to be from exalting so much energy in both their matches, especially if you're TJ Perkins, in that amazing epic showing against Ibushi. I was stunned by both finishes, especially the Ibushi one. I was rooting on Ibushi because I liked him in New Japan. I've been watching New Japan for over a year now and liking all those guys that are there and everything. So, there you go. I also been watching Ring of Honor for a year, which made me so happy to see Cedric Alexander be involved in this tournament. So happy to see him. And also, like I said, so happy to see him get signed, especially of that showing against Ibushi. And Cedric was involved in a bonus match tonight as my favorite tag team in NXT right now. That's not TM61. Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, who had an amazing first round matchup, beating the snot out of each other. That's probably my top five. Top five matches of the tournament would have to be, no particular order, would be Ciampa, Gargano, Ibushi, and TJ Perkins would have to be in that top five now after that amazing showing. I think the Zack Sabre match was good. There was so many great matches. But tonight we would see Cedric Alexander team up with another great show. Another great standout in the CWC, No-Am Dog, against Ciampa and Gargano. You know, they're my favorite tag team right now in NXT since American Alpha's now gone on to SmackDown. And this is a filler match, but guess what? It didn't feel like a filler match. And the crowd, who could have been sitting down the whole time because they were exhausted at that epic match, and like me, were probably going to save their energy for the finals of the CWC. But guess what? They still had a lot of cheering left in this match. An amazing tag team match. Like I said, it was supposed to be a filler match, but it didn't feel like a filler match. It was back and forth action. Both teams looked phenomenal. There were so epic moments, great spots in this match from both teams. Great kicks, great striking. Just exciting action. I was really into it. It was something to cheer on and Noam Dar looked awesome. Like, everybody looked awesome. Noam Dar looked great. Cedric looked amazing. And of course, Tommaso Ciampa and Gargano have been an awesome tag team. They are focused on trying to get back in the NXT title picture, the tag team title picture, after their amazing match against the Revival at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2. But they pushed them off to the side and focused on Noam Dar and Cedric in an amazing tag team matchup. There was one moment that almost spoiled the match. A referee botch. Cedric Alexander had, I think it was it Ciampa pinned? I think it was Ciampa who got pinned by Cedric. And the referee was counting 1, 2, his shoulder went down for 3. And Ciampa kicked out. So there was a botch there for the referee. And the match continued. And Gargano and Ciampa won by double drop kicking Noam Dar. So this little botch spoiled the match a little bit, but not entirely. It was still a sad mistake from a referee. It happened to everybody, but it was a bad botch from the referee. I don't care whose fault was it. Was it the referee's fault? Or was it Ciampa's fault for not kicking out before the 3 was down? Who knows the story? But it was a sad botch, especially in such an epic tag team matchup that they did not look like a filler match. You know, if you told people that that match was a last-minute match, guess what? They would not believe because the match was great. Kind of like what happened at the Backlash pre-show. There was no pre-show match made until last minute between Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews, but that match was a good opening. And we knew Ciampa and Gargano were going to wrestle. They announced it on NXT last week. We didn't know against who until tonight. But it was still an awesome tag team affair. A great palate cleanser after 2 amazing semifinal matches. And now we're on to the final matchup. Beautiful trophy, by the way. The trophy looked interesting, made by the American Chopper guys. Great Mountain League taking on TJ Perkins. And Triple H would come out to announce, you know, that the winner gets the trophy, but then he pulls out a bag. And the bag had the Cruiserweight Championship. Now, like I said at the beginning of this video, we all expected the Cruiserweight Championship to be brought back, with the division being brought back as well. But we were like, how are they going to determine a champion? Maybe they're going to have like a battle royal, like the Clash of the Champions. But it turns out the winner of the CWC will be the champion as well. And that championship, as I mentioned, also in the beginning, looked amazing. You see all these other championships, like the Universal Championship and the SmackDown Women's Championships and the SmackDown Tag Team. It's basically they're taking the same designs of the regular titles and dubbing them a different color. Basically, they turned the Universal Championship, basically the women's title, but dyed red. You got the SmackDown Women's Championship, basically the women's title, but with the middle being a blue instead of the red emblem, like the women's title. SmackDown, basically, it's the Raw Tag Team titles dipped in blue paint. You know, unoriginal designs. But you look at this design, you have a purple back. But the middle is not a copy of anything that he's doing right now. It's not a copy of a belt. It's an original design on that belt. It's not the big, giant WWE logo, the tag team logo. It's a beautiful logo on the front. Looks beautiful. Like I said, an original design for an original tournament. An amazing showing from both these guys. And all 32 deserved. Any one of them deserved to win the CWC. Especially people like Ibushi and Zack Sabre Jr., Cedric, all these great guys. Anyone could have. Any one of these guys deserved to be in this final. And the 2 that were, like I said, were great. Matt Talik and TJ Perkins. With a lot of energy spent, the final match was still pretty good. Not as epic as the other 2 semifinals, but still a fun match nonetheless, especially with the punishment both these guys took in the semifinal match. Especially Perkins, you saw the welts on the back of his body and the foot too. And these guys still put on a decent matchup. Great action for both competitors. Great Hurricanrana moves. Great splashes. Like, Matt Talik's impressing me with this high-flying style. You know, there's a lot of Lucha Libre guys in WWE now, coupled with his peers, Cole Pierce, Kalisto, and Sin Cara that's been, like I said, misused. But I think now I think Kalisto's on SmackDown and Sin Cara's on Raw. So let's see what happens there. Both guys were just using a lot of. They had a lot of energy wasted, but they still had enough energy to get through this match. But Metalik looked strong until TJ Perkins was attacking the knee. He clipped him a couple times, and Metalik tried to overcome that, attacking the knee by coming back some big nasty moves, including Metalik driver, but he couldn't pin him because his knee was hurting. And TJ Perkins knew it. He was attacking the knee because he knew he was going to attack that knee, and two things were going to happen. One, take down one of Metalik's best weapons, his feet. Use his feet for running and, of course, his Hurricanrana moves, his Frankensteiners. I think he did Frankenstein on the top. That was an awesome spot. And he also had to weak the knee for another reason. Setting up for the knee bar. That's taken out a lot of people. You know, TJ Perkins was like the underdog. Especially when he was up against people that are beloved in NXT, like with Swan and Johnny Gargano. And of course, the favorite, Kota Ibushi. So when Metalik's leg was for air from the attack on him by Mr. Perkins, he, like I said, smelled blood, and he did put the knee bar on Grand Metalik, and Metalik tried to get out of it, and Perkins kept rolling him back in the middle, and despite every attempt to break it, Metalik had no choice but to tap out. We have ourselves the first winner of the first ever CWC and the new Cruiserweight Champion, TJ Perkins. They're calling it the first ever Cruiserweight Champion. Well, he's not the first ever Cruiserweight Champion, but he is the first ever Cruiserweight Champion of the new era. You know what I mean? You know, he's the first new Cruiserweight Champion of this new era. Not the first Cruiserweight Champion ever. You know, because we've had previous Cruiserweight Champions. But it's great to see this division brought back. I think a lot of people wanted to see this division brought back to the company. And this tournament has been an amazing showcase for these awesome guys. A lot of them are going to the main roster to Raw. I'm also hearing that SmackDown may get their own Cruiserweight division as well, if the Raw one goes well. So much for brand exclusive. You know, brand exclusive. You know. You know that both brands may have a Cruiserweight division. But how are they going to copy the belts? So there you go. TJ Perkins wins the tournament and the new Cruiserweight Champion. Which begs the question, will he defend it at Clash of Champions? Because they are saying that all World Championships must be defended. And now that Rusev's back as the attack Roman Reigns on Raw Monday, that means that statement will be true. But it'll be more truer if the newly established and renewed Cruiserweight Championship would be up for grabs too. That's what I believe. That the Cruiserweight Championship should be defended. But how is TJ Perkins doing? He's still coming for this amazing night that took a lot out of him. But he'll probably be ready for Monday for the debut. You know, I wonder how they're going to debut. Are they going to have multiple Cruiserweight matches? Or just have like a 16-man tag? They should not have like a 8-person tag. They need like individual matches. Like singles matches spread throughout the evening to introduce these guys. Or maybe have one tag team match with the Cruiserweights. But not like a cluster, like, let's have a 16-man tag! You know, like what they do on SmackDown with the tag teams. Have two tag teams, like, an 8-man tag with two tag teams on both sides. You know, they need a lot of singles matches, so we'll see how they will introduce these Cruiserweights to Raw with the matches. Cannot wait to see them on Raw this Monday. It has been an amazing, amazing tournament. On behalf of myself and all the WWE fans, we want to not only thank WWE for bringing back the Cruiserweight division, but also giving a spotlight to these great wrestlers and putting on this amazing tournament. I'm glad it's back full time, the Cruiserweight division. I'm glad they have a belt, but they should still have the Cruiserweight Classic not as a full-time thing, more like, an annual thing. Like every summer, the CWC happens, and they get new guys, not just the guys from Raw, the now taking the Raw from the CWC, and some NXT guys, but also find some new guys from independents like Evolve. That's where they got a lot of people from Evolve in UK, and all these other indie promotions, and have the winner get the trophy and a shot at the Cruiserweight Championship. That's what I think they should do from this point forward when it comes to future CWCs. So, an amazing tournament, an amazing night. Welcome back, Cruiserweights, to the main roster. And thank you, WWE, for doing this. Thank you, Triple H. Thank you, WWE. Amazing. Epic. With all that in mind, you've been attacked by the review from Zach. See you all later. Thank you for watching.